Alright everyone, and welcome to part 2. That is correct, part 2 of wonderful Survivor Series. There's no other way around it. We had to go into part 2, unless if, of course, this is just, yeah.
Making her way to the ring from Dublin, Ireland, the Raw Women's Champion, Becky Lynch.
And what better way to kick off part 2, of course, than with the women's champion versus champion matchup. Holy crap, what a first half that we had. I don't know how else to describe it other than that. So, without further ado, we are into part 2. That is right, people, this is too big for just one part. We are into part 2. The executive decision has been made, just because it is a cross-brand event, and I think that just makes logical sense. So, we are kicking things off. Becky Lynch, the Raw Women's Champion, taking on Christina Jacobs, the NXT Women's Champ. This is about to get very, very interesting, my friends. This is about to get very interesting indeed. Some new gear.
From Cleveland, Ohio, the NXT Women's Champion, Christina Jacobs.
And also, full disclaimer, I did take a break. I just made some food, which I'm really stoked about. Just some noodles with some broth and veggies, all that good stuff. But here we are, the brand... Well, I wouldn't say brand new, but you know what? The NXT Women's Champ is here. Nice clipping through the jacket. Definitely proof of that. I just make fun out of everything. That's just kind of where we're at. And the fans are very squarely behind the Raw Women's Champion, Becky Lynch. Here we go. Champion versus champion matchup. Raw's up 3-0. Or wait, 3-1. My bad, people. I'm not going to discredit Pete Dunne's victory earlier tonight. That's just not where we're at. But folks, that is right. You're seeing things right. We had to go into part 2 because, well, as you saw the length of part 1, well, that happened. Backstabber onto Lynch right off the bat. The lockup. And Jacobs has her. She's got the arm. Strike to the knee. Another strike to the knee. And Lynch counters. Jacobs lets things go right here. Irish whip. And a huge counter from Lynch onto Jacobs. And if you watched the My Career Universe Mode series that we had, it's no secret that these two have plenty of history amongst each other, but in our Universe Mode series, you know what? Fresh start, am I right? Right. Now, Becky Lynch has held the championship as long as the series has gone on, so since the very beginning. Jacobs, of course, winning the championship not too long ago on NXT. Successfully defending against Alexa Bliss in her first defense. And now in this marquee matchup against Becky Lynch, and a huge springboard dropkick followed up by another kick to the champ, to the Raw champ. And a kick out from Lynch. And Lynch hits a DDT right onto Jacobs right there. Oh, huge kick. Another kick to the back right there from Becky Lynch. And she delivers her own drop kick onto the NXT champ. Jacobs with a kick. And Lynch with a knee. Oh, right in the corner. She's in a tough predicament. Stomps right to the chest. Here we go. Oh god! And Jacobs with a running front dropkick, or a running dropkick I should say. Not a running front one, but you get my point. Snapmare takedown. And a neck snap. Oh! Going for that running kick right there, but Lynch counters. And a crucifix onto the NXT Women's Champ. Lynch is looking for something here. Targeting the arm so that she can get the disarmer on her. Very smart strategy from Lynch. Huge uppercut right there of the European variety. Counter from Jacobs right there. Just going for the air and misses. Oh, and a huge strike from Becky Lynch. Jacobs wisely going outside the ring. And Lynch following suit right here. Referee to 1 count. Oh, and a huge clothesline right from the NXT Women's Champ. Another quick pinfall attempt. And a 1 count. Lynch is not backing down, nor is Jacobs. Oh, and the referee is down. Oh! Oh, and she hits it. She hits something right there. That was incredible. All while the referee was down. Good timing. Kick right to Lynch, and Lynch counters once again. Oh, and the Bexploder. Could this be it? Could this be it? Jacobs kicking out. Lynch ducks the drop kick. Oh, and a counter from the NXT Women's Champ right there. Oh! Side Russian leg sweep into a series of strikes right there. That is a smart strategy. Just trying to slow things down just a little bit. Head scissors into another punch right to the head as well. Running leg drop. I think she might be looking for, and she hits another running leg drop onto the Raw Women's Champ. And barely missing the third right there, but that's okay. Just trying to slow down the pace. Oh, and Lynch misses that last one right there. Another crucifix from Becky Lynch onto the NXT Women's Champ. Oh! And a big scoop slam from Lynch. Oh, and a front drop kick right there as well. It's been very back and forth in this matchup, and I think we're all here for that. Oh, and an arm drag takedown. Oh, and a huge counter from Lynch. Good lord. These two are just countering everything that they've got from each other. Oh, and another Exploder suplex. I think that's at least 3 or 4, right? I feel like that sounds about accurate. And a kick out from Jacobs. What does Lynch have to do to keep down the NXT Women's Champion? And what does the NXT Women's Champion have to do to keep the Raw Women's Champion down? Becky Lynch is looking for something right here. And Jacobs counters. Lynch ducks out of the way. Oh, and Jacobs is sent to the outside, and Becky Lynch following suit. Trying to prove why she is not just the man, but also the champ. Referee's at a 2 count, and both Lynch and Jacobs are back inside the ring. Snapmare takedown. And another neck snap right there. Not sure how wise this decision is. And Lynch counters once again. Jesus, take the wheel. How many times is Becky Lynch going to counter? Huge Meteora from the champ. Oh! And Lynch countering the diving senton. Huge counter. Oh, and a huge kick to the back of the head from Jacobs. Jacobs going for the cover. And Lynch kicking out at 2. Again, in terms of championships, Lynch by far has more experience, but sometimes it's not all about that. Oh, and a belly-to-belly suplex. Trying to get the crowd on our side. Get that little bit of momentum going for her. Referee's out of count. These two are just bringing it back and forth to each other here in this opening matchup for part 2 of Survivor Series. Again, I hope nobody's like mad at me for making this executive decision, but given like where the first part went, I think it makes a little bit of logical sense. Oh, and a tornado DDT from Jacobs onto Lynch. Oh, and a huge kick. Oh, and she hits the Spanish fly. And a 2 count. Lynch gets out once again. Oh! And a counter. We got a counter. Oh, missing the enziguri right there, but barely. Scoop slam of her own. Again, trying to get any sort of... These two women have just been at war with each other since the very beginning of this matchup. Jacobs ducks. Again, a huge win over Becky Lynch could prove to be what exactly she needs to really solidify herself as a champion in general. Yeah, there's been some crazy turmoil with these championships. And a huge front drop kick onto Lynch right there. Right, what do we got going on here? Oh, and an arm snap right on to Becky Lynch's arm. Jesus, take the wheel. This has been crazy. What is she looking for now? And taking apart each of the limbs, that is a very smart strategy from the NXT Women's Champ. Slowing down the pace while going at her own pace at the same time. And going for the cover. And Lynch kicking out at 2. Oh, and a huge counter. Front drop kick. Oh, and a huge kick. And into another Spanish fly. And another kick out from Lynch right there. Oh, and Lynch counters the springboard attack right there. Oh, and a huge DDT from Lynch onto the NXT Women's Champ. Again, this is a matter of just one move ending everything. One wrong move could cost you the match. That is the point where we are at right here tonight. Huge kick. I want to poison Ronda onto Lynch right here. Jacobs is going up to the top. And she hits the 450 splash. Not sure what happened with the landing there, but there you have it. And Jacobs picking up a huge win after that 450 splash onto Becky Lynch. What an opening contest we have here. What a showing. And if there were any doubts about Jacobs' credibility as the NXT Women's Champ, I think it's safe to say that they've gone away. But Becky Lynch clearly not happy about that outcome as she walks away from this match. And well, we had quite an interesting matchup to kick things off here. We are just getting started here in part 2. That is right, part 2 of Survivor Series. So let's just continue onward. We're going to continue onward and upward. Alright, what's going on back here? Wait, is that Charlotte Flair? What is Charlotte doing here? I thought she got taken out by Nia Jax before Survivor Series. Well, I guess the Queen is out for revenge against the boss, Sasha Banks. Of course, earlier in Survivor Series, we got to see Team NXT, well, they lost to Team Raw, led by Nia Jax, who took out said Charlotte Flair. Sasha Banks, of course, took her place, and I think Charlotte Flair is out for revenge, from what it looks like. I don't know how else to describe it, but Jesus take the wheel. Charlotte Flair is back and out for revenge, and I think that's a pretty safe assumption to make based off of what we're seeing here tonight here at Survivor Series. Holy crap. The Queen has returned. We have just seen, well, let's just say that the NXT women's division has picked up quite a bit, to say the least.
The contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from St. Louis, Missouri, weighing in at 250 pounds, the World Heavyweight Champion, the Viper, Randy Orton.
And as we just saw moments ago after the opening matchup, Charlotte Flair is officially back, except she is out for revenge against Sasha Banks, which, you know, from an objective standpoint makes little to no sense because it was Nia Jax that took out Charlotte Flair, but here we are. But Charlotte Flair, once again, just taking out Sasha Banks, probably because her team lost. Again, Charlotte Flair was the original team captain for Team NXT, but Sasha Banks, of course, their team lost in the first match, or the opening match of Part 1, in a very heated and a very intense battle between those two teams. Jesus take the wheel. If that's the two brand warfare matches that we've had thus far, holy crap, it's been crazy. But so far, Raw is still up. Hold up here. Again, pen. Okay, there we go. Raw is still up 3-2, and this is our 6th out of 7th match here tonight with Raw and NXT going at it, brand warfare. But Randy Orton definitely knows a thing or two about Survivor Series in general, being the sole survivor of Survivor Series and being a part of Survivor Series for a number of times. But I don't know if Randy Orton has seen anything like Drew McIntyre, the NXT champion.
Scotland, weighing in at 254 pounds, the NXT champion, Drew McIntyre.
And of course, this is probably one of the biggest matches that Drew McIntyre has had thus far since winning the NXT championship not too long ago on the channel. Definitely one of those matches, again, kind of like the women's match from earlier, and also I would argue probably for all these other champion versus champion matchups, like, we get to see people having these breakout moments left and right. I mean, if you take a look at the women's elimination match, for example, we got to see some breakout performances from Candice LeRae, from Dakota Kai. You could also argue potentially Toni Storm or Sasha Banks, or even Naomi. Lots of breakout moments for everyone involved, really. And it's pretty awesome, to say the least. But yes, we have some interesting developments, especially in our tag team and women's pictures, just in general. But this matchup is one that I think many of us want to see, between Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre, champion versus champion, WWE champion versus NXT champion. Not gonna lie, I actually kind of like the sunset kind of in the background like this. I don't know why, I just do. And the fans are very behind Randy Orton right now, which is quite interesting to say the least. Again, Drew McIntyre picking up the championship after stopping Samoa Joe's rampage on the channel that we've had. And the two are locking up. And Drew McIntyre getting things right away. Randy Orton quickly countering, once again, taking down McIntyre to the mat. And Randy Orton's going to have to do that if he wants to pick up a win here tonight. But of course, Randy Orton being a veteran here. And, well, I mean, to be fair, Drew McIntyre's probably, I would consider a WWE veteran as well. But Just definitely seasoned in the ring just as, you know, not as much I would probably say, but definitely in terms of a skill set and so forth. Randy Orton countering right here. Oh, and a huge hip toss onto McIntyre. Randy Orton neck breaker onto Drew McIntyre. Of course, this is do or die for NXT, to say the least. But definitely we've had some exciting breakout moments for a lot of people, for sure. Even within the tag team matchup, of course. Kofi freaking Kingston. That's just 3 words right there. Kofi freaking Kingston. Like, that is all. Now, of course, you could argue, well, if Drew McIntyre basically took down Samoa Joe, what does this mean for the NXT World Championship? Or the NXT Championship, however we're going to phrase it. I mean, we could probably use those interchangeably, I would argue, because, well, we're going all over the world with this thing. But what's next for everything? I mean, we also saw the Viking Raiders not on the same page. The Undisputed Era wasn't on the same page, but they ultimately won the match. Oh, huge counter from McIntyre. So what does that even mean for the Viking Raiders? I mean, and also we didn't see... We had some tension with the New Day as well, so I don't know what's going to go down. I really don't. Like, our tag teams are kind of falling apart, to say the least. The tag teams are falling apart at the seams. Oh, and a huge shoulder takedown, shoulder block by McIntyre. Going right for the Viper. Like, basically, if Drew McIntyre was the one to stop Samoa Joe's rampage from going into full force, then, well, even more full force than what we saw already, then I don't know who's going to beat Drew McIntyre. I really don't. McIntyre going to the top rope, and the double axe handle from the top rope. Randy Orton getting outside the ring. Wise decision to try to get some space. McIntyre going for the cover. Oh, and yes, I do have food in my system, and I also have coffee in my system. Cup number 2. I had a cup recording in the last episode, and I'm like, okay, well, we're gonna have to get another one ready to go. Oh, and McIntyre, huge counter. Oh, and a huge back suplex from McIntyre onto Orton. Orton counters. Elbow from McIntyre. Oh! I don't know what just happened there. What's going on with Randy? Oh, and right into the ropes right there from Randy Orton to Drew McIntyre. What a weekend of content that we've had here on the channel, to say the least. My apologies right there. I was literally in the middle of a spoonful of food as that was happening, as kind of stupid as that sounds. McIntyre counters. Let's see, like, we're here. Oh, and a pile driver onto the Viper. Going for the cover onto Orton. And a 1 count from Randy Orton. What is Randy Orton up to? This man's getting angry now. There's no other way around it. Oh, but Randy Orton ducks. Counter for McIntyre. Getting Orton back inside the ring. What is McIntyre looking for here? Oh, and a huge big boot onto the WWE Champion right here. McIntyre, I think he might be looking for a cover once again, and he gets the cover. And Orton kicks out at 1 once again. It's going to take quite a bit to get rid of Randy Orton, to say the least. Oh, and a huge exploder suplex from Randall onto Drew McIntyre. Let's go for those calculated stomps. Oh. And going for the cover onto Drew McIntyre. And McIntyre kicks out at 1. Randy Orton not sure why those... Oh no! Randy's looking for it. Oh, and McIntyre counters. On a huge shoulder block right there. Could this be the opening that Drew McIntyre needs? Oh, and a huge suplex from McIntyre onto Orton. Randy Orton crawling to the ropes. But McIntyre trying to slow down the Viper. I'm not sure how effective that strategy is going to be, but I think McIntyre might be looking for it right here. He's looking for it. And he hits the Claymore and going in for the cover. And Randy Orton kicks out of the Claymore. Holy crap. What a matchup this has been, people. Oh. And McIntyre's looking for it. The Future Shock DDT onto Randy Orton right there. And a 2 count. Randy Orton kicks out of a Claymore and a Future Shock DDT. What does Drew McIntyre have to do next to get the Viper down? Randy Orton with a counter. Oh, and hits the clothesline onto Drew McIntyre. Randy Orton getting McIntyre in the corner. Counter for McIntyre. And a scoop slam. And McIntyre once again going in for the cover. Referee took his good old time there. And Orton kicks out at 2. What a showing between these two men right here. And McIntyre going for it. Oh, and a huge move right there. Pile driver onto Randy Orton. Oh, and hitting the splash right onto Orton. Getting all that behind him. Oh, and McIntyre hits the Glasgow Kiss. And I'm pretty positive my accent's just mixed right there. And I think he's looking for it again. And McIntyre hits the Claymore. Could that be it? And suddenly we're at 3 wins apiece. NXT and Raw are now tied here at Survivor Series. Which means the men's Survivor Series team is going to basically determine what all happens and goes down next. What a showing from everybody involved, and what a great matchup we just saw between these two champions right here, between Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre. Definitely a huge win for McIntyre as he tries to solidify himself as the new champion here on NXT. Definitely a huge win for him here tonight.
Here is your winner, Drew McIntyre.
And what is... Oh my god, that's Sheamus! Sheamus, the new #1 contender, is out here tonight, taking full advantage of the situation. What? The fans are... Oh my god. Sheamus is just bringing it to Drew McIntyre. Of course, as we remembered, Sheamus won an opportunity against the NXT champion at our last TakeOver event. And what an impact from Sheamus here tonight. These two have plenty of history with each other, but I think it's safe to say that Drew McIntyre faces a very big task coming up on NXT. So without further ado, everyone, let's just keep things going. We're tied 3 apiece. Let's just keep things going. And look at who has returned here tonight. Bobby Lashley. This is, of course, Bobby Lashley's first appearance, really, since he tried cashing in that Money in the Bank briefcase on Drew McIntyre just a couple of episodes ago on NXT. He failed. And, well, Bobby Lashley, he has returned. I need everyone to pay attention because what I want to say is very important. You might even learn something. You see, some WWE superstars think they can make a name for themselves by backstabbing one another. Now, I agree with this method, but I don't appreciate it when I'm the one being backstabbed. So I'm here tonight to say something to a certain someone who's been running their mouth about me. The biggest mistake you can make in a war is waiting to be hit first. I never wait. I always swing first. That's why you all hate me. I've knocked down every one of your idols right before your eyes. A shame, I know, but I care about me and me only. So tonight I'm ready to knock another one of your pathetic idols down, and he's due to be knocked down. You're gonna wish you never ever said anything bad about me, Brock Lesnar. Because I'm calling you out here right now so I can humiliate you in front of all your fans. Is this an open challenge? I think this is an open challenge, people. I mean, we're hearing Lesnar's music. Keep in mind that Lesnar defeated Bobby Lashley at our last TakeOver event. Or at least a TakeOver event or two ago, so they've got some past history here. Lesnar does have one win against Bobby Lashley, and I guess this match is happening, people. This match is actually going to happen. This match is actually going to happen. Hang on to your butts, people. And this is going down, people. We got ourselves an extra match. Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar. Lashley returning here tonight, as has the Beast. Now, two other individuals we have not seen in a little while. Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe, of course. Reigns has been out for a little bit. Just in general, after a big loss at TakeOver, to say the least. And then, of course, Brock Lesnar just being Brock Lesnar, to say the least. I don't know how else to describe it. But then, of course, Samoa Joe, we haven't seen him in a little bit either because he lost his championship and all that good stuff. Bobby Lashley really bringing it to the Beast, Brock Lesnar, here tonight. Of course, these two went at it not too long ago here on the channel. Bobby Lashley looking to even up the score right here tonight. And definitely a matchup that I don't know if any of us saw coming here tonight. Like, we saw it coming at some point, but here we are. And shoot, I wouldn't mind if we went a best of 7 with these two, to be completely honest, or best of 5 or whatever. Oh! Huge counter from Lashley. Here we go, Lashley. Lashley's having a very dominant showing in this early going, and I think that's smart. Trying to get Brock Lesnar out fast. Definitely learned some things from their first encounter, to say the least. Lesnar counters. That was like so enthusiastic. Lesnar counters. What is Lashley looking for here? And a suplex onto the Beast. Here we go, Bobby Lashley countering. Huge elbow. And what a showing right there from Bobby Lashley onto Brock Lesnar. The crowd is not sure what to make of this, to say the least. But hey, at least Bobby Lashley tried cashing it in, right? Yeah, I think that's what matters. Huge clothesline from Lashley. Here we go. Bobby Lashley looking for something here. Oh, God. Lashley is just proving just how dominant that he has since he was last seen here on NXT. Just manhandling this dude right here. He is carrying the Beast, Brock Lesnar. Jesus, take the wheel. Oh, God. I don't think Brock Lesnar was expecting this from Bobby Lashley, but here we are. Lashley going for the cover. And Lesnar kicks out. Somehow, someway, Brock Lesnar kicks out. Oh, and a huge clothesline from the Beast onto Lashley. I almost called him Lesnar. It's like Lesnar onto Lesnar. No. The fans want Suplex City, so I can't tell if the fans are genuinely trying to get behind Brock Lesnar or what's going on here, but I'm kind of here for it. Suplex from Brock Lesnar. Lashley's got to get back into this and get back on the offense if he wants to have a fighting chance against Brock Lesnar. Oh. Oh, into the outside of the ring. Both men are back inside the ring. Huge slam from Lashley right here. Oh, counter from Lesnar. Another counter from Lashley. Oh, big punch from Lesnar onto Lashley. Again, both of these men are on NXT, so this is not a brand supremacy match by any means, but I don't know what to even make of this matchup. I really don't. Good Lord, Lesnar's starting to get back into this. I mean, the fans are slowly turning in favor of Brock Lesnar, and I really don't blame them. I mean, if you really think about it, Lesnar's got a bunch of losses on his record. Minus, of course, the big win over Lashley. But Lashley's looking to avenge that loss. So it's like the fans are genuinely split. They're not quite sure what to make of this, especially because Brock doesn't really show up. Okay, I felt something in my head right there. I'm starting to lose my ish at some point. And what is Lesnar looking for here? I think he's looking for Suplex City, possibly. And a second German. And a third German suplex connects. I think Lesnar's looking for the F5. And Lashley counters. Lashley came prepared today, friends. Lashley came prepared here today. I think he's looking for it. I think Lashley is looking for it. And a spear, and Lashley goes in for the cover. Could this be it? And Bobby Lashley avenges his loss against Brock Lesnar, avenges losing his title match against Drew McIntyre when he cashed in Money in the Bank. What a showing right here tonight. Bobby Lashley proving why he just basically belongs on the show, proving why he's the best big dude.
Here is your winner, the almighty Bobby Lashley.
And why he is the almighty Bobby Lashley for a reason. Bobby Lashley making things 1-to-1 between himself and Brock Lesnar. And what a matchup that we just saw. None of us really expected us to have that match right here tonight, or to see either one of them return. What does this mean now that they're tied at peace? Could we be seeing some more from these two? I don't know, but I sure as heck want that. So either way around, ladies and germs, folks, everybody around the world, let's get going to our main event. Raw and NXT are tied at 3 wins apiece. This next match is going to determine who walks away with brand supremacy. And we are down to it. NXT has 3 wins and Raw has 3 wins. This final match is to determine which brand will reign supreme this time around with Survivor Series. And boy oh boy, is it going to be a very stacked tag team elimination matchup. That much I will say.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall.
One fall.
Introducing first, from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, weighing in at 235 pounds, the glorious Robert Roode.
Well, it is safe to say that this is going to be a very glorious main event. Listen to the crowd here tonight. Holy crap. Definitely making their opinions heard here tonight, as we just sort of figured out in that last match. But holy crap, people, we've had quite a show, to say the least. Okay, that's cool. That is cool. Listen to that crowd. Yeah, there's some booing, but for the most part, they're singing along with the song, and I really don't blame them, because, to be honest, I would be too. But we have Robert Roode, Ricochet, Adam Cole, Kevin Owens of Team Raw, with Owens leading the team, taking on AJ Styles, who will be leading the team of Rey Mysterio, Matt Riddle, and Aleister Black. Let's see who's next. Let's see who's coming out next. The one and only Ricochet is out next. How cool is this? This is very cool.
And his partners from Paducah, Kentucky.
Hey, that's like a couple hours for me.
90 pounds. Ricochet.
And here we are, Ricochet making his way down to the ring to join his team for brand supremacy here tonight. I hope everyone's enjoyed the fact that we've broken this up into 2 parts, because Jesus, take the wheel, we need to do that. I kind of decided that mentally after the first matchup, I'm not even joking, I'm like, oh man, if this is like a 40-some-odd minute match to open things up, like, y'all are going to be tired after that first match, and I'm going to be tired as well. And so I think we've kind of paced it out pretty decently in this next little chunk here. We've had a lot going on, just to say the least. Lots of developments, lots of twists and turns. Not just with Survivor Series itself, but also within NXT, like in general. Holy crap. And well, here we go, Adam Cole. Here we go.
And representing Undisputed Era from Panama City, Florida, weighing in at 210 pounds, Adam Cole.
Come on, Greg Hamilton, you gotta add the Bay in there. Anyway, around, Adam Cole making his way down to the ring. Of course, Undisputed Era. They had a couple of miscommunications earlier in that Fatal 4-Way Elimination Tag Team matchup, but they pulled out the huge win and got a win for their team. Can Adam Cole replicate that success here in this match with his teammates? We're going to find out. We are certainly going to find out sooner rather than later and see how Team Raw fends. Of course, this is a very, very interesting team. Like, both sides are very interesting, to say the least, in terms of who's on their teams. Lots of potential dream matchups and just matches that we want to see in these, like, cross-branded events, and I am excited. I don't know what the next so many takeovers, or if we have another cross-brand show, or what that's going to look like, but rest assured, it's going to be a fun time, and that's all that matters at this point. But yeah, we have a lot to unpack, like, just in general. And here comes Raw's team captain, none other than Kevin Owens.
And their partner from Marieville, Quebec, Canada, weighing in at 266 pounds, Kevin Owens.
Fun fact, I actually share a birthday with Kevin Owens, May 7th, which is apparently also Owen Hart's birthday too, so pretty cool stuff. Not a bad group of people to share your birthday with. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But Kevin Owens leading the team here for Raw as they battle Team NXT. And this is going to be quite an interesting match, to say the least. Lots of very interesting, you know, mini matches that could be had. And honestly, many of these guys are probably getting some of their first main events here on the channel too. Like, not just on NXT, but also like on a pay-per-view level, to say the least. Or at least a pay-per-view event level, I should say. And I think that's great. Like, for example, I don't think Matt Riddle's had a main event yet. Like, at all, as far as I know. So it's kind of good to see him and Rey Mysterio get some spotlight on them, of course. And speaking of whom, I think he is coming out first. And yep, here we go. Matt Riddle, flip-flops and all.
And their opponents first, from Las Vegas, Nevada, weighing in at 216 pounds, Matt Riddle.
And it's interesting because Matt Riddle and Rey Mysterio, they've had some back and forth matches over the course of Universe Mode, but it's always been in a very respectful way, so that's kind of how we've sort of parsed it together. AJ Styles, arguably a locker room leader, so kind of makes sense how he ended up becoming the captain after winning that matchup. And then Aleister Black, well, he's just very much a lone wolf, but willing to, you know, take one for the team as needed. That's just how he rolls, but Matt Riddle, definitely a huge spotlight on him here tonight. It's going to be quite interesting to see what happens with all these folks going forward. Of course, the NXT champion has a huge target on his back. Lashley and Lesnar are just doing their thing. Not quite sure what the fans are going for here, but I'm kind of here for it. And here comes the legend Rey Mysterio. Like, I mean, he's a legend to me as far as I'm concerned. Like, I want to keep going at, like, it's like, I really admire people like Rey Mysterio because they just keep going and they're just doing awesome.
San Diego, California, weighing in at 175 pounds, Rey Mysterio.
But here we go, Rey Mysterio, of course, another in-ring vet here in WWE. I kind of like this just interesting, I like the interesting combinations of all these different teams, really. But here we go, Rey Mysterio coming right on out here tonight. It's going to be a very interesting match, to say the least. Lots of people with endurance, submission holds, etc. Although, to be fair, I don't know how Aleister Black's entrance is going to look like with the sun setting, but here we are. Here we are. It's looking so weird already, but yet it's somehow working in a way. I don't know how, but it just is. Like, I look at my TV screen and it's like acting weird, but when I'm looking at my PC, I'm like, oh, okay, well this makes more sense. It looks better. So y'all are gonna get the much better looking version than what I'm getting right here. And even then, it's like, there could be color correction as needed, of course. Like, that's a thing. Like, you don't want to do that, obviously. Like, you want to if it makes sense to do it. And if you can, like, ethically do it. But that's a whole different discussion, okay? That is a whole different discussion. But here we go, Aleister Black, and yes, the coffee's getting to me.
Amsterdam, Netherlands, weighing in at 215 pounds, Aleister Black.
Aleister Black having a very up and down journey here on NXT as well. Rey Mysterio and Matt Riddle have kind of been in the Intercontinental Championship picture, but they've been kind of trying to figure out their next steps just in general. But Aleister Black starting things out strong. Won the Money in the Bank briefcase at our first Money in the Bank event, for the first briefcase, I should say, for the men's one when it was cross-branded. Then he cashed in on Samoa Joe, held the title for a few weeks, lost it to Samoa Joe, and then he's been kind of trying to get back into the mixture of everything, and to the swing of things, I should say. Had a bit of a feud with Tommaso Ciampa along the way, who we also haven't seen in a little bit. But that's okay. We're taking things one show, one match, one moment at a time. Well, that was fitting. Production crew made that faulty maneuver right as Aleister Black came out. I feel like that sounds about right. But yeah, no, it's like 6:30 p.m. here. Like, when I'm recording this and I'm finishing up coffee number 2, and I'm like, why am I like this? And as always, make sure that you have your snacks, your coffee, whatever choice of beverage you want to consume while watching this show. Again, if I'm now that I'm thinking about it in retrospect, like as an hour or two retrospect, I'm really glad that we broke this up into 2 parts, because as soon as I remember seeing the last show and how that turned out with like a 3-hour takeover event, the takeovers make a little bit of sense, but like when it's a cross-brand event like this where it's just stacked, I think it's safe to say that, you know, well, we need to break things up for this one. And here comes the team captain for NXT, the phenomenal AJ Styles. Here we go, people.
And their partner from Gainesville, Georgia, weighing in
So again, go get your snacks, go get your choice of beverage. Again, 2-part major Survivor Series weekend here on the channel, which, to be honest, I did not expect to happen, but here we are. Here we are. I was sort of like, I knew deep down after the first match that we recorded, and also looking back at our last TakeOver event, I kind of felt like, oh, I should probably break up Survivor Series if we're having 3 of these very long matches. That makes sense to me. Okay, now that is a very cool, like, screen cap right there we could possibly get. Give me good wallpaper, too. Who am I kidding? This is the crap I think about, but hey, if you want me to go in and make some wallpapers or something, I'm cool with that. Alright everyone, and this is Christina from the future. So full disclaimer, I'm kind of dubbing over the commentary, just in general, for this matchup, because here's the thing, this match took 3 takes, and it broke twice, and so this is the 3rd time that we had to go through it. Let's just say that in general, I think it took me about 5 hours to record this entire TakeOver event. Yeah, I think that's fair to say, about 5 or 6 hours to record, so that's kind of the logic right there. And plus, I wanted to give, like, better commentary for this main event, just in general, because of the fact that, well, had to record this in a bunch of just chunks, to say the least, and this is the last little chunk, but here we are in our main event. It's gonna be it's very much of a different type of screen for me to just, you know, do this on. Because of the fact that my preview window is, like, I believe, like, it's pretty much the very tiny, I believe it's a 480p preview, but I could be super duper wrong. Either way, it's, like, very small, so just giving y'all a little bit of a heads up in case if it's like, wait, why aren't you calling this as accurately as possible? That's why. So the preview window is very small. Not sure if there's much I can change about it, but here we are. But we've got ourselves an interesting matchup underway here. So as always, just make sure you got your coffee and your tea, your choice of beverages, just in general. I also just got a notification my Amazon package is coming in tomorrow, so I'm really excited about that. Either way around. Oh my god, I sound like a train wreck, and I'm totally fine with it. It was really funny. I was listening back onto some of the commentary from, like, earlier in, like, the first part, and I'm really glad that, like, I've been... Basically, the way that I do it, when I do these TakeOver events, is that I record 1 or 2 matches at a time, then I take a bit of a break, and then I go back and record another 1 or 2 matches, take another break. Sometimes if the matches are, like, short, like, maybe about 10 minutes or whatever, then it's like I record 3 of them, but, like, I have to take frequent breaks. Like, I'm that person. I know my Amazon package just shipped, okay? Like, seriously. Sorry about that. It was like, all of a sudden I started recording the audio and it was like, okay, here we go. But here we go, here we go. We are into this matchup, so once again, this is probably my 3rd or 4th time recording for this particular event. But I hope it makes logical sense as to why we had to split it up into 2 parts. If you're more of a fan of that 2-part style, let me know. Yeah, I don't know what else to really say about that, but I do have a plan in place for our next TakeOver event, which should be on June 4th, which is kind of wild that we're almost into June already. We're almost halfway through the year, when it's like every day has kind of felt like it just bleeds into the next day. But this is just going to be a fun matchup, and I'm really excited. And what in the world was that? What in the world was that? What in the world was that? Oh, that was great. So here we have Rey Mysterio and Ricochet. Of course, we have Team Raw, led by Kevin Owens, featuring Adam Cole, Robert Roode, and, of course, Ricochet. Rey Mysterio is here right now. Oh my god! Rey Mysterio is, like, going at a 3-on-1 disadvantage here. Kevin Owens, like, waiting to strike as well. Jesus. Y'all, I could see it if you were trying to take out, like, Aleister Black, but Rey Mysterio? My god. Poor dude. Poor dude. So yeah, I got my 2nd cup of coffee. I had 1 cup. Dudes, so I literally did not wake up until 1 o'clock today, and then, like, this button on my phone just fell off. And I'm like, oh god, no, this is it. Everything's falling apart during this whole situation. But now I think I fixed it, at least for the temporary, you know, the time being. And yeah, I didn't wake up until 1 o'clock today, so if you're like, Christina, why is part 2 up so late? You know why. Plus I gotta render this part, and then, like, I gotta stitch the other 2 parts, all that stuff. So I basically had to splice 3, I had to work on 3 separate videos for this part, just to kind of make it flow and make logical sense to me. I really should just do a Twitch stream at some point, or like even a behind-the-scenes video where I kind of go through the editing process for a takeover event. Just in general, I think would be fun. But yeah, here we go, people. Here we go. I realize I just spent like the past 3 or 4 minutes like not talking about this match, maybe for all of 5 seconds. But I figured it'd be like a good way to sort of just explain why this takeover event has particularly felt choppy. But yeah, I hope the way that it's kind of been structured makes some shred of sense. This is like one of our biggest shows, and so I kind of anticipated it to be a little bit longer. So, there you have it. And again, there's no countouts, just disqualifications, pinfalls, submissions, that sort of thing. I intentionally set it up on purpose, otherwise like this was going to be one big cluster to say the least. And so that was kind of what I was going with when I was thinking about like the rules and stuff like that. So, either way around, I hope everyone's having a good weekend so far and enjoying the series. I'm also kind of fluctuating with my other series as well, so it's like every other day pretty much it's going to be something different from one of my other 2 series. But I got ideas for like content heading into the summer just in general, so hopefully that all kind of marinates well. But here we are, people. Here we are. It's going to be great. Oh yeah, also I had to record this match like 3 or 4 times because of stuff like this where they spent like 10 years outside the ring. So there you have it. So that's kind of why some of these matchups have been a little longer. But here we are. But yeah, this has been a very interesting event to say the least. I feel like it's really funny because it's like up to this point, NXT, the only matches that they've won have been the singles matches, and then the only matchups that Raw has won have been the tag matches. So it's like our tag team division's kind of like collapsing essentially in recent weeks. We have like Gallows and Anderson just like not getting along. Then we've got the Viking Raiders, our own tag team champions, starting to crumble. Then there was a miscommunication with the New Day. Like, Jesus take the wheel. Are we going to have a tag team division after all this is said and done? But no, we'll figure out the state of the tag team division in upcoming weeks, I promise. We're going to figure this out. It's going to be a good time. But here we have AJ Styles in the ring with Adam Cole right here. Definitely a matchup that we would like to see. And yes, I'm cognizant of pre-WWE history, but here we are. Like, I'm not entirely, like, out of it half the time. I do my homework, and yes, I said do. But here we are. But yes, my good friends, this is going to be an interesting matchup to say the least. And you are not seeing things incorrectly with these different parts. These are longer, and they're kind of on purpose almost. Like, I knew, I was on the fence. I kind of thought like, oh god, based off of our last elimination matches, should we do a 2-parter? And then after the first episode, I was like, yep. We're doing a 2-parter. Like, yep, we are doing a 2-parter by far. So that's kind of where we're at. So, either way around, I hope everyone's having a great day so far and just enjoying this main event that we got going on here. So, yeah, that's where we're at. We got AJ Styles and Ricochet in the match right now. Huge insecurity from Styles onto Ricochet. But I'm really excited. It's so funny. Of all the series, I really look forward to recording. I look forward to recording, like, all of them in general, but, like, I really enjoy putting together the universe mode stuff, and I really hope that y'all are enjoying it as well, because, you know what, we gotta do something good with chicken crap, right? So that's just kind of where we're at. But yeah, let me know if you want, like, a season 2, or anything else, really, like, because we are... Well, here's the thing. I was kind of looking at the calendar in the game. We still have, like, December, January, February, March, and then, like, April. So we have, like, about 20 weeks or 20 episodes at least, probably, if we use the full calendar. And I'm just like, oh my god, how many weeks is that left? And so, some weeks, like the first week of June, we're only going to have like 2 episodes that week. But based off of the current calendar, like, even if you just go by like 3 episodes a week, like that structure, even if you just go by that like calendar right there, just like 3 weeks, or no wait, 4 episodes and then a takeover event, so 5. No, if you just go like our regular 3 per week structure, 3 per week, like, that's 12 episodes in a month. So at the rate we're going at, we're looking at like June or July possibly. No, definitely more so like July or August is like our last week probably. I definitely probably lean more towards like July, but we'll see. So, I don't know. I mean, if y'all want a season 2 of some sort because we're not getting 2K21 this year, by all means let me know. If you want to see it in 2K19, let me know as well. If you want to see season 2 of My Career Universe mode, go for it. I don't care. Like, I don't care. I just enjoy the crap out of it. I've always enjoyed the wrestling games just in general. And so if you want to see past games, also let me know. I have 2K15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. But we will be covering the Battlegrounds game in the fall once it's out. I know June's going to be crazy with the Sims series, so that's going to be it. But this is my sort of meat and potatoes type of content right here. And so if it kind of goes in and out like that, where it's like, you know, fading to black and then kind of returns like that, that's just because after about 10 minutes my Xbox controller, or my Xbox in general, it kind of does that. It's kind of like a power saving thing. And also a little bit of the audio is a little bit choppy if you couldn't tell as well. That's just how it recorded, I think. But the crowd noise is still in there. I made sure that my microphone was off. I literally just went and made some food, I think, during this time. I'm not 100% sure. I think I either made food or I just took a nap. I can't remember. But y'all, I was exhausted by the time we got to this. So, on Friday I started recording it, because I usually try to record takeover events. If it's like... Actually, no, I take that back. So I was aiming for a Friday release for takeover this week. However, that did not happen. I think I just got so distracted just with like everything going on, and like I was really focused on just editing the crap out of my other videos and, you know, seeing how my other series were panning out, that sort of thing. And so that was what happened. And my screen just froze, so I don't know what all is going on. Fantastic. We're off to a really good start. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. Okay, cool. The two team captains. Oh my god, coffee. So yeah, by the time I was like just doing things on Friday, I was like being a productive human being for much of the day, but I didn't realize that it was like, oh crap, it's like 8 something at night. I should probably start recording. So I started recording on Friday night during SmackDown, I think. Yeah, that sounds right. But I got through the first match, which was the Women's Elimination Tag match, and then I got through, I think, the Street Profits and Viking Raiders. Y'all, I was spent after that. It was like already 10 something at night or whatever, and I'm like, alright, well, they're just gonna have to be cool with it, I guess, if we're not getting something on Friday. And so I posted on my Twitter, which you all should follow, by the way, because you get little updates like that all the time. But I knew Friday, I was like, there's no way I'm gonna poop out a takeover event. So I started recording takeover on Friday. Oh my god! My game kept I really should have had like a game crash counter like back in our days and just everything. It's been a whole ordeal, people. It's been a very whole ordeal, to say the least. So, by the time I got everything recorded, I believe... No, it wasn't on Friday. I think it was Saturday. Or both. I don't remember. Either way, I was editing all day. Just in general, I think, on Friday and Saturday, between all my different series and stuff like that. No, I was editing a lot on Thursday. I take that back, because we had a new series start on Thursday. So I was editing the crap out of that on Thursday. Friday I started recording, and dude, I was spent after the first 2 matches. I'm like, we're just gonna have to take a break here. So I took a break, and then I recorded the rest of part 1, and then I took a break after that, and then I was like, okay, we gotta get part 1 up at least tonight. So I had that uploaded later on, but I was still editing it, which that takes a while to edit and render and all that. Like, I don't think... We'll have to do a bit of a behind-the-scenes thing, just because it takes a little bit of time. But yeah, I was trying to record, and, well, the game kept crashing every so often during the tag team matches. So that was quite fun. But, either way, I still had fun with it, to say the least. I think that's what matters. Oh god. So yeah, it's been a time. This has been like a 4-day project now, which I did not anticipate, but here we are. Now it's like I know what to prepare for our like season series finale, potentially. I wouldn't say it's a series finale that we're gonna have. I don't know, but it's been a time, to say the least. Again, apologies. Instant coffee. Instant coffee is love. Instant coffee is life. Actually, people give instant coffee so much crap, but it's like not too terrible. Maybe that's just my low standards. But yeah, apologies if I've been spending much more time talking about behind the scenes stuff. And well, we got our first elimination from good old Robert Roode, eliminating Matt Riddle. But it's been an interesting time, to say the least. Oh! That's some tag team efforts right there. Ooh. Ooh, alright. That's always good to see. But it's also hard to see what the crap's going on because of the size of my preview screen. I could probably change it, but then I'll lose my place, probably. And then I'm like, okay, where in the world am I at here? But yeah, either way, I hope you're enjoying the show. If it helps even one person just escape their problems and just everything going on in the world for the time being, then we're doing something right. And I think that's what matters. Even if it's, again, just one person, it's all good. Everything is all good. Oh boy. And right into the steel steps. And we're back inside the ring. And Adam Cole, what is he going for here? Alright, we got Adam Cole, Rey Mysterio. It's going to be an interesting time, to say the least. Oh. Okay, my shoulder hurts just looking at that. I'm not even joking. Oh god. And Adam Cole going for the cover. And Rey Mysterio kicking out of it. Let's see what happens, people. Let's see what happens. But yeah, I'm really starting to question the state of our tag team division here. I mean, we got one that's basically out. We got two teams that are like fracturing. I don't know, people. I really don't know. I really, really, really do not know. And then we got one team that's just trying to go after singles gold, which I don't blame them, to be completely honest. But here we are. We're on this wonderful Sunday where dudes, it is so stinking humid in this apartment right now. I'm not even joking. It is so humid and gross. Like, I feel the humidity, even though I'm inside. Like, I'll probably make the apartment much cooler later on because that's just how I roll. But that could be another factor as to why the commentary has been a little bit weird heading into the main event. It's because I can't friggin' concentrate when it's like humid and gross in here. But here we are. Again, much of the action in this matchup at least, has taken place outside the ring. And like, as many times as I try to record it or like fine-tune it, like, that's just what they do. I don't know how else to describe it. That is just what they're doing. Like, that's just how they do. That is all. It's like 2K20 has some good things going for it now that it's actually, like, not entirely broken. But, in certain cases, I was not able to open up Create a Victory for Create a Wrestler. So, it was a whole process, but I think we've navigated around it. Okay, no, my laptop is plugged in, you stupid thing. Like, go away. This thing's, like, telling me, like, oh, yeah, your adapter's not working. I'm like, no, it's totally working, I promise. I mean, it does say fully charged. Alright, Rey Mysterio with the monkey flip arm drag maneuver right there. What's Rey Mysterio going for? Rey Mysterio? What the? I just called him Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio. What the? Guess I know where my mind is at. Maybe I'll make oatmeal after this. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But Rey Mysterio now going for the cover. Can he get the first elimination? And Ricochet breaks things up. Adam Cole is still in this. Raw is up 4-3. But in overall Survivor Series, they are tied. 3-3. Of course, the Lesnar and Lashley matchup, if you can even call it that, that was all of, well, a few moments. That does not count because they're both on the same brand. And Aleister Black ducking, and Adam Cole connects the huge kick. Ooh! Oh, and another series of kicks right there. And an enziguri from Adam Cole right there. And I think he's making it in the tag, and he does. Adam Cole tagging in Ricochet. Not sure if that's the sentence I thought any of us would be saying by this point, but here we are! Oh boy. Huge DDT from Aleister Black onto Ricochet. Again, lots of history between those two right there. Here we go. Aleister Black on the offense. Here we go. What in the world? Y'all just saw that, right? We all just saw that, correct? Alright, there we go. I'm like, hold up here, what's going on? Alright, Aleister Black on the offense, taking his time. Just taking his time. And Kevin Owens is in and Rey Mysterio is back in. Aleister Black going to the outside. Captain AJ Styles is outside the ring checking in on his team member. That actually doesn't sound too terrible. Captain AJ Styles. I'm kind of here for it. I'm kind of here for it. Alright, people, get on that marketing. Get on the branding. Oh god, that's pretty great. But yeah, no, otherwise we've had a pretty crazy and lots of twists and turns and memorable moments in this 2-part weekend event. So my hope is to get another episode up for tomorrow. That's again the goal, keep in mind. So yeah, that's the goal. We're gonna get 3 episodes out this week, and then we'll have 2 out the following week. So next week we'll have 2 episodes, this week we'll have 3. So there should be another TakeOver event on June 4th, and yes, we are returning to TakeOver events because, well, Survivor Series happened. I swear, once this is all said and done with, like, I swear to God, we're just gonna go through and just have, like, a sit-down conversation as to what's going right and what's going wrong, because there's a little bit of both going on here. But it's been, like, very much like a growing process, so that way when we go and do, like, you know, if we end up doing another Universe Mode series, then, well, we know what to do next. Oh! And Mysterio, huge bulldog outside the ring. And part of it's probably going to be my commentary because I'm so all over the place, but that's just, like, my thought process. Like, especially in this type of a voiceover situation right now where I'm, like, I can barely see the screen because it's so small. But here we are. Here we are, people. Just here we are. This is it. Ray's out. Ray's just... I don't... Oh, okay. I was like, okay, Ray's out, but here he's back in. Okay, Ray. Okay. Oh! Taking down Robert Roode on the outside of the ring. Again, there are no countouts, just pinfalls and submissions. And disqualifications, of course, like, that's still a thing. Both men are back inside the ring at this point. Oh, cookie dough, that looks so good. Sorry, I get so distracted. Okay, we're good. I just saw, like, this whole container full of, like, cookie dough, and it just, oh, it looked so good. It looked so good. It looked so good. Oh, and a huge elbow right to Robert Roode from Rey Mysterio. I'm like, head scissors, I'm like, it just, like, would not come out. Like, it just, my thought process, like, my brain was just, like, not processing that for a second. I'm like, oh god, this is a train wreck and I'm here for it. Oh, either way around. We're back on the outside of the ring once again. Do y'all see the problems that we were having with this said matchup? And also, much of this footage is probably the first time that I've seen a good chunk of it, probably. Like, I was there, like, when this was recording, like, I was just watching something else. I think I might have been watching, like, a YouTube video or something. I don't remember what I was watching, but I was doing something else. Like, I think I was cooking, at least. Which I feel like sounds about on point, because cooking is life. Like, food is love, food is life. And also, that's what's coming in the mail tomorrow, so I'm excited. And Robert Roode taking down Rey Mysterio. Going for a huge kick. Oh! Showing a little bit of variance right there from Robert Roode, to say the least. Getting a little bit of revenge after we traded away Robert Roode, I think. I think that's fair to say. And Rey Mysterio is at Robert Roode with 2 eliminations in this matchup. Jesus. Have we done messed up in trading him over? We may have. It's like, it's Robert Roode's revenge tour. That sounds about right. Oh, and a huge series of knees. We are down to full team over on Team Raw, and then, of course, we've got none other than AJ Styles and Aleister Black still into this match. What a time. This has been a very interesting matchup, to say the least, in terms of eliminations. Just throwing that out there. Throwing that out there. I was going to try to record this last night, but we had this really crazy storm go through last night, and I usually try to record my shows. Like, I try to record my videos, like, afternoon and evening. Like, if I record before noon, it's like either I have something going on that day or something else. But I try to record things in the afternoon because that's just when my body and my brain can kind of function. Which it might not sound like the case right here, but there you go. That's just where we're at. Whew. Oh, God. Sorry about that. And so you all get to see a glimpse as to what kind of just goes down, essentially. Like, just in general. I wanted to take at least a little bit of time to kind of explain the thought process, at least. Like, Christina, why are you doing this in 2 parts? Why are you recording and editing, you know, chunks at a time for this? Same thing here with the lighting. Once again, that was the Xbox, just throwing that out there. But yeah, for next-gen consoles, it's not even what I'm thinking about for right now. If anything, I'm going to wait on it for a little bit. Just because, you know, you want to make sure that the prices go down just a tad. Plus, we're in the middle of this global situation here, and it's kind of not the right timing to think about these things, so I'm just going to throw that out there. But if anything, eventually, what would be really cool is to, like, just, you know, get a straight-up PC, like an actual gaming PC. I think that'd be very helpful and streamline everything a little bit more, but I enjoy what we're doing, and that's what matters. So, yeah, it's been really crazy. We're almost to, like, 20,000 views, too, which is kind of crazy, just in general. I started this about a year ago, like a little over a year ago now, just as a place to just share my enthusiasm and passion of video games. And so, I think it's starting to turn into something bigger than myself, and I'm kind of here for that. It's been a very big day, to say the least. But there's a lot of really cool content that I'm really excited to share in these upcoming weeks with everyone. Just because it's going to be, like, different stuff that we're doing and just all kinds of good stuff. Well, like, maybe not so different, but also different at the same time. I don't know how else to really word it. So, there you go. We've covered a bunch of games, just in general, and I'm excited. I am genuinely excited. But if there's any sort of series or like spin-off series or anything like that that you would like to see, do indeed let me know, because we need that to happen. But yeah, hopefully everyone's just chilling. And relaxing and just genuinely just enjoying this episode and enjoying this part. Robert Roode has... There've been some MVPs in this show by far. Both in parts 1 and in part 2, I think. I think in part 1, like Candice LeRae, we have to say is an MVP. Probably also Dakota Kai and Sasha Banks and Toni Storm. Ronda Rousey was not a team player at all, and I think it shows. It definitely showed in that first part. We also saw Kofi freaking Kingston, like, potential Kofi Mania moment right there. Potentially just being Kofi. Who else could we put up as, you know, an MVP? From part 1, it's kind of hard to distinguish, but definitely, like, those fine few folks are definitely there. Robert Roode is definitely an MVP in this matchup, probably along with AJ Styles and Aleister Black, I would argue. Maybe even Rey Mysterio. Probably everybody on Team NXT, but definitely, like, I would say Robert Roode, if I had to pick one person, is probably the MVP of this matchup by far. And then, of course, Bobby Lashley, like, his surprise matchup with Brock Lesnar. Jesus, take the wheel. That's MVP quality right there. You also had Sheamus making a name for himself, but yeah, the tag team division's going through some hard times, to say the least. Definitely some harder times. Oh my god. It's been a time. It has certainly been a time, to say the least. Oh my god, why am I tired? I just had 2 cups of coffee. Well, to be fair, I've been so thrown off, like, all day, so it's fine. Everything is fine. Oh my god, and Robert Roode almost got a 3rd elimination. Jesus, take the wheel. Oh my god. This man has no chill. Well, to be fair, the reason part of these are, like, longer is because of all the entrances. Like, when I was fast-forwarding to the match itself for this particular matchup, I think it was, like, 12 minutes of, like... Yeah, it was, like, 12 minutes of entrances. So it's like, alright, what happened? Just, what happened? Alright, I think we're good. Yep, we're good. I'm like, hold up here, my screen just went dark. Which was, no bueno. Yeah, hopefully everyone's enjoying the day so far, and just kind of, just chilling, hanging out, that sort of thing. It's gonna be a good time. We're having a good time. And just relaxing, watching this matchup. It's been very interesting, like, I wouldn't say it's been back and forth, but, like, Team NXT has definitely brought the fight, that's for sure. That much I will say. Huge shoulder, just, ow. I'm in pain watching that every time. And good frickin' lord, Aleister Black powering out of this. Aleister Black is one person on this series that's had a very roller coaster time, to say the least. Like, you go from winning Money in the Bank to cashing in, losing it a few weeks later, and then just kind of trying to figure out where you're going. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, you kind of make this rise, and then it's like, well, where are you going next? But yeah, we're going to figure out where we're going with these next so many events, just in general, because of the fact that, well, I realize that we're probably going to have to consider Royal Rumble, because that's another cross-brander. I don't know how invested we would all be in that full crossover event, but we're going to try to make something work. Maybe this is where it's, like, not so much brand supremacy, but, like, here are the matchups that we really want to see, like, maybe that kind of an event. So if there's anything cross-brand oriented that you want to see, like, do indeed let me know. But I think that could be the way we approach it, instead of, like, you know, brand supremacy or whatever. Like, focusing on the stories, right? And so, I think that's the direction I'd like to go with it. And then, of course, we got the road to WrestleMania, which, if you read any of my tweets, you'll know that I'm not a huge fan of having a ton of stuff go down. Like, we had 3 pay-per-views IRL before WrestleMania happened. I think we had, what? We had... Hang on here. I know we had a takeover event, which that one made sense to me, because it was like, oh, okay, cool, like, it's not like, I mean, there was an NXT Women's Championship match at WrestleMania, but that was about it. Like, to me, that one made a little bit of sense, because they didn't have, like, they had, like, Worlds Collide, and then before that it was War Games, so, like, it was about 3 months and was just NXT, like, itself, which that made sense to me. I know there was Elimination Chamber. I think there was, like, one of those Crown Jewel pay-per-view things, whatever the crap. I'm like, how many pay-per-views were there between Mania? Like, it's all starting to bleed together at this point. Which, it sounds terrible, but it's like... Alright, where are we at here? So, yeah, between WrestleMania and Royal Rumble, we had TakeOver Portland, which that one felt long to me, but it was still good. Then we had Super Showdown and Elimination Chamber. So yeah, we had 3 pay-per-views between January 26th and April 5th, which even then, that's a lot. Like, one of them I can see being NXT, but it's like, we ain't doing that here. Like, unless if it's like something, just like, okay, here's like a cruiserweight showcase type of thing, or something like that. Like, that's just sort of what I would envision, right? Like, something that's like, okay, we're taking a detour, but we're not going off the main course. But I can't see it, people. I cannot see us doing, like, too many more huge events like that. Maybe we do, like, more of a special, you know, kind of thing, where it's, like, more of just a, you know, a special where we have, like, 5 episodes or whatever, like we had to do a few times. But Aleister Black, another black mass onto Roode. And, oh my god, this man's, like, the real MVP of this match. I mean, you're looking at him right here, Roode for MVP of this matchup. But either way, like, that's kind of where I'm seeing this next direction, I think, is just, like, we're gonna just focus on the quality over quantity approach with the pay-per-view events, to say the least. I think that's fair. So we'll probably have at least 3 or 4 more of the big shows like that, which I feel like makes sense, because, y'all, it took me a long time to record and edit this one. That's just where we're at. But I like seeing where things are going at the same time, so it's hard for me to project more long-term, right? But I just don't know how many more of these cross-brand events that we've got left. I think this is only our second one. But the amount of build that we had to have going into it was by far just crazy, to say the least. Like, I usually spend quite a bit of time on this series, but, like, I didn't realize how much time I was putting into, like, this particular show. And so for future, if we, you know, when we have a future, like, takeover type of event, or a future cross-brand event, I should say, I want it to be, like, quality over quantity, right? Like, I want it to be, like, okay, here's some matchups that sound really good on paper, like, let's just do it. But we need to get to that point. Like, I have some ideas in mind, but my brain has just kind of gone in the crapper, to say the least. My brain's just, like, not 100% there. But, yeah, I hope everyone's enjoying the show for what it was, and the series, honestly. But here we are, people. We are into this main event. This is our main event. Both sides are tied 3 apiece. We're going to see who's going to pull out with the win. We're going to see which team is going to pull out with brand supremacy here. So, Survivor Series, to me, it's always like, I enjoy it because of the whole brand supremacy thing, but I'm actually really excited for, like, what we do for Royal Rumble. Because I feel like it's going to be a combination of, like, here's some matchups that we want to see, but also some matchups, like, maybe 1 or 2 from each brand. Kind of, I don't know. That's kind of what I'm envisioning for right now. But I know for sure that I want to do a takeover event on June 4th. That's kind of my goal. That's my vision for right now. So that's kind of where we're at. Just because it's like, I feel like we're kind of due for one almost. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But I always have fun with just doing the takeover events in general. Like, they take me longer to do, and, like, you know, these longer form sort of things, but I just enjoy it, and I got ideas marinating. That's just kind of where we're at. The ideas are marinating. Yeah, our last takeover event was like 3 weeks ago with, like, Melbourne. And that one was 3 hours, about 3 hours. But hey, at least I include timestamps for y'all, so you're welcome. It was a crazy time, to say the least. I might just make a playlist just for these takeover events, just in, like, the longer form shows. Just because I feel like that might be necessary at some point. I don't know. I really do not know. I certainly do feel that we are certainly due for just, you know, a takeover event in general. But here we are. We got our, it's 4-2. Team NXT still down 2 people to 4 people. Are they gonna persevere? We're about to find out. But Robert Roode has been in this match, I think, probably the longest of anybody in this matchup. I'm not even joking. Like, if we have to pick one MVP from either show, it's gotta be for this man right here, Robert Roode. There's no other way around it. He's had probably a breakout performance, I would argue. There's been some good breakout performances in general across all the matchups. But in the near future, we're probably going to have Sheamus and Drew McIntyre have a matchup for that NXT Championship. And then that's pretty much all that we've got really mentally mapped out. But the tag team division itself, my dudes, it is fracturing. It's like, I don't even plan on it, but here we are. But I've got ideas marinating, so don't you dare worry. Oh my goodness, what a time that this has been, my friends. What a time. I've been really enjoying this quite a bit, just in general. And everybody's back outside the ring. I'm like, and everybody's back outside the ring. That sounds about right. Like, I almost wish this could have been like Falls Count Anywhere or something, just to make things a little bit interesting, or a little bit more interesting to say the least. But, y'all, I've been enjoying the crap out of this series, just because of just how crazy it's been. Like, I feel like when it's all said and done, we're only going to have like 2 tag teams, or maybe even 3 possibly, that are like still kind of together, just in general, but it's going to be interesting to say the least where all this sort of ends up. But Robert Roode, probably this match's MVP, I would argue, is still in this matchup and still going at it, and I don't know how the crap this dude's doing it. Like, I seriously don't. Like, I have no idea how he's doing it. I'm going for the cover on Aleister Black. Oh, God, and that was close. That was close. That was very close. That was so close. And AJ Styles making another save, but Adam Cole taking out AJ right there. Referee's going for that 5 count. Gotta get outside the ring. Aleister Black is still in this. The fighting spirit of Aleister Black right now is just, it's crazy to say the least. It's crazy. But Robert friggin' Roode is the MVP of this matchup, and I don't care what anybody says. He's been in this probably the longest out of everyone in here, to be honest. But I hope everyone's having a good long weekend and just living, you know, living the dream. Oh yeah, before I actually got on here, I actually watched, I actually watched part 3 or chapter 3 of the Undertaker documentary, which, if you're looking to kill a few hours, please watch it. It's great. I 100% recommend checking it out on the network, just in general, so if you're wondering how it is, it's really, really good. And I'm a huge documentary person, so it's like, I often just look probably way too critically at these things, but it's really good and I enjoy it. But Robert Roode still in this matchup. It looks like Ricochet is back in this match. Here we go, here we go. Oh, and a huge kick onto Aleister Black from Ricochet, which, you know, there's some sort of irony in that, I think. Oh, God. And Ricochet going for the cover. Aleister Black powering out of this. Again. I kind of like this duo between Aleister Black and AJ Styles in a really weird way. I don't know why I enjoy it, I don't know. It's like, here's Aleister Black, this very much lone wolf-like dude. But, like, between him and AJ, they're like, they're making a decent team. They're making a pretty decent team. I would probably argue that. Aleister Black going for the cover, and Ricochet kicks out. So who knows? Like, I mean, at the very least, they got an alliance of some sort, I would probably argue, which, you know, that also works with me. Aleister Black right into a DDT under Ricochet, but Ricochet somehow getting back up onto his feet. Oh, and go counter, counter. Oh, good Lord, Ricochet! What in the world was that? That was incredible. I feel like, to be fair, I say that for a lot of Ricochet's matches. Like, let's be real. Oh. Oh, another counter from Black. DDT from Black right there. Aleister Black taking a moment to kind of just look over what he's been working on, to say the least. Ricochet fighting back right here. And a huge Meteora from Ricochet. Aleister Black right back on his feet. Huge elbow from Ricochet. Huge move right there. Could this be it? And Aleister Black is eliminated. Could this be a potential clean sweep for Team Raw? We're down to AJ Styles, the team captain for Team NXT, against Ricochet. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh God, what have we been witnessing here tonight? What a match. That's all I gotta say, just what a match. And Ricochet, he might be looking for something here. Oh, and a code breaker from Ricochet right into the cover. Could this be it? And AJ Styles somehow kicking out of that move right there. Oh my God. But here we are, Ricochet, AJ Styles, Ricochet with an enziguri, AJ counters, and a huge DDT from Styles onto Ricochet. I think Styles might be looking for it here. I think he might be looking for that phenomenal forearm. Oh, and Styles misses! Ricochet, whether he knew it or not, ducked right out of the way. Styles right into a German suplex. I think Styles might be looking for something here. I can't tell. Maybe. Might be looking for a Styles clash. It's hard to tell sometimes, to be completely honest. Is AJ Styles going to get out of this 4-on-1 situation? We're about to find out. Also, something that I've discovered, and I'm probably just late to the party, I like how when you're putting in timestamps, like on the bottom, if you're looking at a web browser or whatever on your laptop, like if you look where like all the play button and pause and stuff like that is, like right where you're scrolling, like to get to certain parts, I like how it indicates like what part of, you know, the episode you're on. And Ricochet, huge move on to Styles right there. Again, Robert Roode has 2 eliminations. Ricochet has 1. Could this be it? We're not sure, but we're going to find out sooner rather than later. AJ Styles taking a moment to catch his breath. I mean, to be fair, he's in a 4-on-1 predicament. I would need all the energy possible, too, to say the least. And Ricochet getting right out of it. Ricochet bringing back AJ Styles inside the ring, just knowing that they have the 4-on-1 advantage. There's no other way around it. The numbers game could potentially catch up to all these guys. Or really to at least AJ Styles, to say the least. At least Ricochet would have a little bit of an advantage. And there you have it, people. Team Raw has pulled out the win and has won Survivor Series here tonight. Holy crap, what have we just witnessed? What a matchup. What a victory for Raw. Raw pulling out Survivor Series brand supremacy 4-3. Very interesting to note that the one-on-one matchups were all won by NXT, but the tag matches were won by Raw. But holy crap, this has been quite an experience, to say the least. I hope everyone's enjoyed each and every match, or at least found matches that they enjoyed. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got. And holy crap, people, we actually did it. This show actually happened. What a show. My dudes, that is it, people. Raw won 4-3 at Survivor Series. I want to note how all the tag matches were won by Raw teams and how all the singles matches were won by NXT people. I guess there's a lot of crazy murky water in the tag team division itself within NXT, potentially. But what a showing, and again, full disclaimer there, I literally had to retake this match like 3 times before we got to this final match, and of course the final matchup was voiced over because I want to make sure that it went smoothly and went okay. So again, Raw 4, NXT to NXT 3. Funny enough how Raw won all the tag matches and NXT won all the singles matches. So there you have it, people. That is part 2 of Survivor Series. Now that I'm looking at this in retrospect, I'm glad that we put it into 2 parts. So again, part number 1 came out yesterday, and part 2, well, came out today here on Sunday. So I hope you all have enjoyed this huge crossover, cross-brand event. If you want to see more of these cross-brand events, let me know. Otherwise, I hope everyone's staying safe, staying healthy, all that good stuff. And I hope everyone has a great rest of your weekend. Again, hit the like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff here on the channel, including all sorts of social media, including Twitch, down in the description down below. So as always, thank you all so much for tuning in, and I will see you all later. Bye, everyone.